welcome to Virtual Sim League Season 11, round number 2 of the Tier 1 Championship. We head down under at Albert Park in Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix, the second round of one of our mini championships as well. Should be a good and entertaining race. My name is Jessball. I'm not alone this week. Joining me for the rest of the season, we've got Mike in the commentary box. Mike, welcome to VSL, and you must have enjoyed Tier 2 last week, but you're back with me in Tier 1 for the rest of the season. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic, and obviously pleasure to commentate over Tier 2 last week, but obviously we're up here now with the lads in Tier 1, and it's going to be different gravy here tonight.
Yes, it is, and we had quite some mixed bags from some drivers last week. It was rainy, it was lots of safety cars galore in Japan, only 10 drivers finished. So we've had Glock that took the win last week, 25 points. Andreas, and one of the stars of the show, I would say, last week, got 20 points for his name in second. Cam, who's not here tonight, I believe at the moment, he's in third in the championship on 18 points. And then we got Mata, Casper, Gareth, Kieran, Yarham, Ewan and David, only drivers to have scored points. And Glock, wasn't surprised to see him up there in P1. He delivered where it counted, but I think it's nice to see the rookies up there as well, with the likes of Andreas in P2.
Yeah, absolutely, and Andreas, a very, very good driver as well, so he'll be looking to carry that momentum on into this round. I believe Cam did join, so we do have the top few in the championship here tonight.
Oh, that's very great to see, because otherwise we don't want someone walking away with it after a few rounds of the Middle Eastern and Asia Pacific Trophy. There we go. But this is the track. You kind of treat it as a street track, really, because it's using the existing roads around Albert Park. It does take quite a while to build as well, which is why some of the organisers kind of want it to know in advance if it's going ahead. But it has 16 turns, 6 to the left, 10 to the right, 3 DRS straights, and we have lots of great stuff to contend with as well. Oh, it has 14 turns, sorry, because of obviously the updated chicane going through turn 9 and 10. It's a long straight as well, which has been there for the last few games as well. They've had a game cycle to get used to it as well, but it's a track where it's kind of like damage limitation I found in Australia. I don't know why. It's not the first round of the season. It just tends to be a lot of mistakes there.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks where you're going to see a lot of mistakes happen, especially through that turn 9, turn 10, fast, left, right. It's so easy just to get onto the curbs and just lose control of the car. And obviously with the reprofiling of turn 11 of Scary, that is going to be another thing for these drivers to contend with as well, because it's a lot tighter than where it used to be. It's not as swooping as it used to be. It's more of a full-on 90-degree turn now.
Yeah, and some people obviously prefer it. Some drivers obviously do not, and with the time warm-up as well, with it being summer in the game as well, that could be a sort of a bit of an issue as well. But let's ride on board with Enzo as he starts his lap. Championships can be won and lost in a second in turn number 1. Remains unchanged from previous games. Corner winding of 2.5 metres. Heading towards turn number 3. You can take a... Oh, Enzo's already invalidated before we've even begun. So he is not going to be finishing off his lap. But we got Twisted, who is back after a race off. Last season's champion is back. I'm actually quite surprised he didn't join us for the first race, but he's back for redemption. Obviously, new game. He won it on the last game. Already setting the timing screens alight with being purple out of the drivers around them as well. And we got Wilmette with us as well this week. Could see a changing of the Elgato here as Twisted makes his way past turn 9, going through this long straight, using a lot of ERS already, so ERS management I think is going to be very key as he almost clips that curb. Doesn't do it too much though, as he heads towards the next DRS zone, heading towards turn 11 now of the circuit. Very nicely. On the last game you can get beach there, which I did quite a few times. Heading towards turn 13, 12 and 13 now. Final few corners past the pit straight. And what can our reigning champion do? We got Leroy that's saying a 118.2, but what can Twisted do? Well, he smashed that with a 117.8. I do believe we have one of the Williamses out as well. Yarham, who got pole last week, but didn't convert it to a race win. We'll see what he could do as Casper goes second fastest.
Yeah, of course, these times only initial bankers coming in right now, but already very rapid times coming in from Twisted, Casper, and Leroy in third right now. But we are seeing a few invalidations pop up. So as Yaham, they snatch his provisional pole away from Twisted by just over 4 hundredths of a second, I believe. No, 300ths of a second. My bad, I can't count.
Here comes last week's race winner heading towards turn number 11 now. He's probably got something to say about trying to snatch that pole position away, and with it being 3 or 4 championships this season, and we're having the extra events with some of the races as well, it does spice it up, of course, with the overall championship. So Glock has a bit more to fight for as well, as Glock goes up to the line. 117.6. That is pretty amazing from Glock. Someone else just came across the line. That was Gareth with a 118.4, our Tier 2 champion from last season. We got Womair, a league racing legend who is back on the game. He's invalidated, unfortunately. And I think that's everyone that's done laps so far. Pete, unfortunately, down in 18th. He invalidated his last one. But we'll see if he gets to go again. I don't think, no, he's not pushing that much. He's probably going to go into the pits as well. So he's Glock fastest, Yarham second, Twisted third, Casper in fourth, and we've got the 2 Alpines fifth and sixth. Lago, I think that's how you say it, in seventh, and then we got Matter in 8th. Only 8 drivers set lap times. I think Enzo could have been up there if he didn't invalidate on the early part of his lap, which was turn 2, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difficulty with this track, is all keeping it valid, because it's so easy to just get over the track limit lines, especially through turns 1 and 2. Obviously, Mata, as you mentioned, doing a 20.3. He, of course, is on another flying lap, so I think he might have invalidated early on, got off his ERS, and he's going for a second run on those tyres.
Yeah, it's quite common to do around this circuit, so not really surprised to see Mata do that. And whilst we've come to know him, he's always used to be on more older lap tyres. Casper's done exactly the same as our our rookie from last season, highest placed rookie, 117.563. Well, not last season, this season, but there we go, 117.5. Mata is going to come up to the line. I'm just getting my telemetry up so I can see the current times as Mata goes fastest on 3-lap old tyres, which strongly suggests that the track is ramping up. There could be people that are going quicker. We've got more people, I think, coming up to the line. Speed 92 managed to do a few laps on those tyres, 121.585. Enzo heads towards turn 5 now, which again is still difficult like last game. But yeah, the ones who are fastest at the moment are the ones that have done more than 1 or 2 laps on those tyres.
Yeah, I believe we've got Womair coming to the line now for the final corner, and this has been an absolutely fabulous lap while I've been on board with the Alfa Romeo for this, and it is a fabulous lap because it's a 17.2, 3 tenths clear at the top.
117.2, that I have to say is absolutely insane from the Alfa Romeo driver as David goes across the line into P2. So yeah, track is really ramping up. So we'll see what Enzo does as these passes turn 12 and turn 13 now. The final sector he goes, setting a personal best everywhere. Does he match up the drivers in front? He's about 1/10 slower than Womair in the first sector. Puts himself into P10, and looking at his sector times, it was really his middle sector that let him down. Everything else was absolutely fine, and he also lost a bit of time in the final sector too, so there was more time to be found for Enzo, but still that's a competitive lap time for him so far. A lot of people doing some early laps actually, as I believe Matt has gone into the pit. Yarham just about to start his next run. There will be some less fuel on board for the likes of Yarham, and I think seeing the ones who've been on older tyres, surely that is a wake-up call for, like, you know what, I want to go faster. Well, you're not going to go faster like that, Sunshine, by cutting turn 5.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Johan. He just turned in a bit too much here. Got hooked on the inside curb and it just spat him out wide onto the exit. And that is not what you want to do. But he can get off the battery and save up that ERS and go for a second one. Because we have seen that a second lap on these softs actually does end up quite helping out quite a bit.
Yeah, which is, I think, something I might try out on this game, actually, as well, for one-stop races, in one-stop leagues, actually, because I think the softs can last a lot longer on this game, and it has a much better tyre life than previous games, possibly due to the fact that the handling model is a lot better on this game. I'm actually enjoying this game a lot more. I just haven't had the chance to play it that often compared to some other drivers, and if I did have more time, it would be pretty amazing. But Lago is on his out lap at the moment. Anyone else on runs? We've got Ewan, who's on a run currently in the McLaren. Kind of wish that the Silverstone livery was allowed to be used in F1 cars, not multiplayer cars. Hint, hint, Codemasters, because I actually like it when I saw it on track. Past turn 11 now. What was his set to 2 time? A 17.5 was his set to 2 time. I'm trying to see how that compares to everybody else. That is actually the fastest middle sector, I believe, currently, unless anyone else is going quicker. Yeah, actually, no, 17.5, actually, so no, it's not the fastest middle sector. He goes 11th in the McLaren, 1:18.0. Tony, who is back, unfortunately, he has invalidated his run, but Glock hasn't. Glock is absolutely flying in that Mercedes at the moment. Purple in the first sector, 26.687. He set a personal best in the middle sector. This is looking quick, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm on board with Twisted as well. Twisted 3 times up in the middle sector, so it looks like it's going to be an improvement for all drivers out there right now.
Yeah, here comes Glock as he tries to get some heat into his tyres. He's keen to get the fastest out of everybody. He wants to win a second race in a row to prove that, you know what, I deserve to be in this league. Goes up to the line. Is it going to be fastest for the Mercedes driver? No, P2, but what about Twisted? Twisted.
He crossed the line.
He crossed the line in P7. He was ahead on track. Okay, that probably explains it then. My bad. It's been a long day today. That's my excuse. But we got 2 drivers still on laps at the moment. How is Andreas doing in the first sector? 26.8. So he's improved on his personal best by a 10th of a second, but still 2 seconds slower than Glock's first sector time. I'm just looking at the middle sector for Glock. That's what really let him down, I think, to stop him from getting pole. He lost about 3 tenths, and that would have put him easily into the 116. So for Glock, he could have got pole if he didn't make that mistake in the middle sector. He's got 3 tenths to find there.
Yeah, and he'll be looking at that lap and he'll be knowing exactly where he can make that time. He'll know he'll have that in the bank and he can accumulate that on the final runs. Of course, it is just under 6 minutes to go in the session, so plenty of time for him to find that. As Andreas here with a 17 flat.
I think we could see drivers into the 160s as quickly as we can. We'll see what Womack can do right now on circuit in that Alfa Romeo. We've got Mata out on circuit as well. He crosses the line, and it's a P2 for Mata. Brilliant stuff. The track is starting to heat up. Drivers are moving up and down the timing order like no tomorrow. And if I were the likes of Johan and Twisted, I will be very worried that I can't move up the grid, but still more time to be found as Glock goes into the pits. We've got Johan, who's potentially going to go into the pits now. Yes, he is. Anyone else just about to finish?
David has just started a lap. He's coming to the first sector split now. Womir has invalidated on his lap as well, so he's going to have to reset and go again. Currently in P3 for Womir, but David marginally up in the first sector.
Yes, David is definitely up on his first sector time. So I'm just going to check. 26.8 was his first sector. Oh, he's about 10 thousandths quicker than his previous best, which is minuscule. But he's purple in middle sector out of the ones around him, and he's purple overall in the middle sector. 117. No, not 117. 17.423 in the middle sector. Can he get the first man into the 1:16s? Well, he needs to find a miraculous final sector because his first sector was not really the best compared to the likes of Womet. But up to the line, David comes through. Oh, 1:17.087, 24 thousandths slower than Andreas. Again, it was that. I'm just trying to see for Glock, it was the middle sector. But for David, it was that first sector that messed him up.
Yeah, just being marginally up in that first sector. Obviously, if he can find more time there, he's definitely going to go for it. One more marginally down on his middle sector split as he comes through the final few corners now. I'm wondering if he's going to peel off into the pits and go again here because time is running out. And yes, he is. He's going to jump into the pits and a smart call there from one more.
Yeah, because otherwise he's definitely going to be out of sync compared to the rest of the drivers as Pete almost hits the pit wall. You don't want to be doing that. Lago has damaged his front wing. So, I don't know what Lago has done, but he's beached himself in the pit wall. Luckily, he could get the car reversed. On the last game, you can't do that. It just beaches you. But luckily on this game, it will let you reverse properly. So he's back in the pits, but he's got, I think, less time to get in a lap compared to everybody else. It is the calm before the storm. Let us know in chat if you are watching who you think is going to get pole position at the moment. So far, it belongs to Andreas, who narrowly missed out on the victory last time out. But I think we could see more rookies up there. There were some rookies last week that struggled to keep the car on the road, but they're doing a lot better here. If we see one of the Red Bulls go out, that I believe is Mata. And we got Yarham out as well. And we got his teammate as well of Cam out for company as well. So everybody is out on runs. Cam's going to be out of sync of everybody. You've had about, 15 minutes to get used to these drivers. Who's your pick for pole?
Honestly, I mean, we're still waiting for times to come in from Key, Cam, and Tony. Obviously, Tech is currently, unfortunately, going to be out of the session for the remainder of it. But we're still waiting for 3 drivers to set lap times. As it currently stands, though, Andreas and Womit and Glock look to be the 3 to keep an eye on for pole position here.
Yeah, I say so as well. I think it's going to come down to the wire between those 4 drivers, and those could be key players in the championship, even though we didn't see some of them last week. Oh! Well, that is not what you want to do by blocking someone on your lap. I think Lago is going to have a little bit of a turning off there because he was going a lot slower than Cam, I think, at the moment. Yeah, I don't think Cam is going to be too pleased with that. I'm sure the stewards are going to have a telling off there. Luckily, Yarham has just missed that, I believe, as he makes his way down towards turn 4 and 5. So, scrap that. Cam is not going to get pole position because of that. He doesn't have time to go again, unfortunately. But 26.9 for Yarham. He is not improving on his run currently right now. And we'll jump back to Mata, who's gone through sector 1. Now everyone's going to be on starting laps at this moment in time. Air temperature 31 degrees, track temperature 37 degrees Celsius. Apparently no rain is expected, but you never know with this game. We could see some rain around Australia. It is quite common. We've seen it in real life, in fact. Womay is about to start his first run. We got Mata 26.9. We got Twisted 26.7. Not much improvement in people's final runs that are white on my screen, which means they're not improved. The one person that is improving is Speed Knighton. He's improved to 26.807 in the first sector, and he's matching quite a bit of the leading runners as well. So I think this could be a massive improvement for Speed 9. Checker flag has dropped, and Yarham can't improve. Neither can Cam or Thessier, who just joined in the lobby. Yeah, it was a bit late, wasn't it? But at least he's here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good that he was able to just get in just in time so you can get that car. Obviously, we've got to see drivers now coming to the end. Twisted, I believe, will be the first man to the line as he is improving up into P4. So good lap there from CPI Twisted.
Yeah, Twisted in 4th position. We've got 2 Mercedes coming up to the line. Glock, one of our picks for pole position. Is he going to get pole? No, he doesn't. He's lost 9/10 a second in that final lap. So maybe the pressure has got it. Womit up to the line. Is he going to get pole? No, he doesn't improve as well by 9/10. Not many people are improving. What about David? David is purple in the middle sector, but we do have the Alpine up to the line. Andreas, what's he doing? Andreas has invalidated. So it's all going to come down to David, I think. Can David snatch pole at the last minute? He goes up to the line. Wow, 117.057. And he improved in almost every sector, and he's got a pole. Let's see what the other drivers could do. There's Leroy up to the line. He does not improve, and I think that's it. So no one was able to get to the 1 minute 16s, even though optimally people could do it. And it is David that's going to be having bragging rights for taking pole in this qualifying session to the death. Nobody else was able to improve apart from David.
Yeah, when the pressure mounted, David rose to the cream of the crop there. He rose to the top, and honestly, a fantastic lap there, and he got hit by 6 thousandths of a second, proving how close this grid is tightly packed at the top end.
6,000 of a second separating David and Andreas, the 2 rookies showing the old guns what they're made of. But here we go, we've got David and Andreas will be on row 1. Matter and Twisted will be on row 2. Womet and Glock, row 3. That's going to be a spicy row 3. Looking forward to that. Enzo and Johan, row 4. Speed Knighton and Casper, row 5. We've got Ewan and Leroy in row 6. Gareth and Lago in row 7. Kieran and Cam in row 8. And then we got Tech and Bivesia in row 9. And Tony's all by himself in row 10. He'll be starting at the back of the grid. But I have seen it, Tony, at the back around Australia come from this low down before, and he has won races from the back of the grid in quite a lot of games. So, to be honest, I'm not surprised to see him up there. He even put in the chat, I love bottling pole. So, is he doing a last 2 challenge? Oh, I can't wait to see that now. But if he doesn't do a last 2 challenge, then it's probably my fault for cursing him. But yes, David on pole, Andreas alongside. We could have a new winner here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's shaping up to be fantastic in terms of the mix-up. Obviously, you've got a big difference in terms of having qualifying pace and having race pace. So it's going to be interesting to see who has the race pace. Obviously, you've mentioned before about Tony being able to come through from the back. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets on, because obviously starting all the way down to the back, he take it easy in turn 1. Maybe try to avoid some of the early lap contact and that between drivers. Let's say wheel bang through turn 1 and 2, and he can try and pick his way through. But yeah, it's going to be an intriguing one.
Oh, and I just realised I was talking for 2 minutes and my mic was muted. So I do apologise about that. So I probably was going through the standings and all that. And yeah, nobody was able to hear me. Apologies about that. Formation lap is off, mainly because there's been some glitches with the game, where people reverse into their grid slots and then getting disqualified from the race, which is not ideal, and then hopefully we can try it out. Apologies, everybody. Luckily, I figured out that problem before it was begun, really, but yeah, that was interesting. Sorry about that. It's been one of those days, but we will get through it. It is a 2-minute break, luckily, so luckily I realised before we got started for the formation lap, but yeah, David, I think, is going to be doing really well tonight, and I think we seen Matt do well last week, climb up his way through the field and pretty much capitalise on any mistakes. But he's starting higher than he did last week. Maybe he stands his chances of a race victory.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And honestly, I was about to go down and reset my internet because I thought it was on my end, but
5 lights are on. 5 red lights are on, and we are go here in Australia. Good start from Enzo right out of the front, heading towards turn number 1, but Andreas takes the lead from David. It's going to be 3 wide into turn number 1. As all we got a spinner already. I don't think there's any other problems currently. Everyone else makes their way through turn number 1 clean. What about turn number 3 as Wome tries to go down the inside in towards turn 3, but Pete covers off both of them 2 in 1 as Speed Knighton is up into 8th spot currently. So there we go. Speed Knighton doing a great job there as well. Keep an eye on Tide in just a minute, but Matt as well on the back of David as he tries to go and send it up the right-hand side. David covers off to the left. We got Cam as well trying to gain up a few places. Still managing to go A-OK with some of these drivers, but a few spinners have just caused people to catch off guards currently. But Matt is just going to try and go for the move. Let's see what he could do. Got the slipstream. He's got, I think, low downforce compared to David. Here he comes to the inside through turn 11. Nicely done from Matta up to 2nd.
Yeah, and of course, early lap incident, obviously Yaham dropping all the way down to the back. Wome and Enzo dropping down the order as well, so they must have got tangled up in that as well. Good start from both of the McLaren boys, moving up a couple of places, but yeah, I mean, it is a shame as Tech is actually out of the race, and is that a full course safety car? It is.
It is a safety car. Oh my God. Full course yellow here at VSL, and to be honest, I'm not really that surprised, but I don't know how Tech has binned it. Hopefully he hasn't made contact with anybody. I'll keep an eye on his POV, but he must be very unhappy. But that just gives us a little bit of a breather, Mike, so kind of relieved about that. So let's look at the tyres. Oh, we got a mixed bag. It's not like PSGL where we're seeing everybody going on hards. That's why I like VSL, because everyone goes on different strategies. So top 2 all mediums. We got David Glock and Twisted on hards, Casper and Ewan on mediums, Knighton and Kieran on softs, Womet on mediums, Enzo on hards. We got Gareth and Tony on mediums. We got Leroy on hards, Cam on mediums, Yarham on hards, Lago in mediums, Vessier on mediums. Now, soft to mediums can be doable around here, but they will lose a bit of optimum pace, so possibly soft to hards, or quite a few people will go on to around about lap 8, I would say, lap 7, 8. Or you can go 8 to lap 10, that's fine. And maybe medium to hard for quite a lot of the drivers, or hard to medium potentially. There's a lot of mixed strategies going on, and I think Pete and Kieran doing very well to use those soft tyres to their advantage. And talking of Kieran, he's coming into the pits, and so is Pete, so I'm guessing they want to get a stop out the way, but I'm guessing they want to not go on hard. Pete has lost his front wing. That explains it.
Yeah, that would explain it. And an interesting one, now that they've made their pit stops, obviously they're on a set of the mediums, so they could theoretically, just do medium to the end and be on what I would say is the quicker race tire to be on over the course of the 29 laps.
Yeah, so maybe medium. I've seen it in a PSGR race around China, and I think a few other tracks as well. There was a lap 1 safety car. We saw people pit early for certain mediums. They started on hards, and then because they had 2 mediums in their back pocket, they were able to do 2 mediums to the end, and they were on fastest tyres for all of it. And obviously mediums being a lot more durable, with people not pitting, they have to use a different tyre compound. And with people starting on softs or hards and them going on to mediums, they're like, I don't have to go onto another tyre. I could go onto mediums if I wanted to, and that's very, very interesting. And I like that strategy. Maybe more people could try that potentially in future races if this worked out to potential as well. And luckily it's dry in VSL Tier 1 currently at the moment. It's currently overcast in Tier 2 at the moment. Oh, safety car's in this lap. Now that's early.
The end of lap 1, so I mean, yeah, this is the earliest it can go in, start of lap 4, I think.
Oh yeah, because I think people were so close anyway. The only ones that weren't close were the ones that pitted, but they didn't have too long to get their laps in. But anyway, we're going green then for the second time tonight, and it is go, go, go. Andreas pulling away from Mata then as well. Surely David wouldn't want to fight back there, but with Andreas being on the mediums, this will help a little bit. We've got to keep an eye on the ones that pitted. Cam on the meanwhile has pitted, so he must have picked up damage somehow as well. And Romer right on the back of Ewan through turn 2. He's going to try and send it. He's going to go for it. Casper and Twisted as well going for it. Then Casper takes the move and he's up into 5th place. But Warmer's likely going to be doing the same on you. And is he going to be brave and go through on turn 5? Nope, he's not going to. Maybe through turn 6 and 7 he's going to have a little bit of a try. Nope, he's not either. He's going to be relying on straight line speed. Yeah, he's got a better exit.
Yeah, and Warmer now into the substream, moves out to try and draw alongside, but just can't draw alongside the McLaren as of yet. Doesn't want to waste all his ERS doing it, but he slipped back into the substream. Is he going to try and outbreak around the outside? Yes, he is. Oh, contact made between the pair of them.
A bit of contact. Hopefully no damage there from the two of them, which could have costed them huge. But Ewan tries to go for the switchback, and that will allow Enzo to be like, you know what, you two keep squabbling, I could try and get past as well. We've got the 2 Alpines still in this as well. Don't forget, top 12 in Eloise, VSL. Oh my God.
It's all good. Top 12.
Score points in VSL. I'm used to saying it for Eloise as well. It's crazy. And I'm not even commentating Eloise anymore. Anyway, top 12 in VSL, score points. And there we go, as Enzo trying to go for round number 2, it looks like, on those hard tyres. The yellow flag, that is, I think, Lego, who had a moment. But we'll keep an eye on that in just a second. But yeah, Enzo through turn number 5, not going to get past as it stands. But top 2 pulling away.
Yep, top 2 pulling away, and of course, a guy that we mentioned earlier has a reputation of coming through the field. Tony up into P10 early on.
Yeah, from 20th to 10th. And speaking of moving up the field, let's have a look at it, shall we? With Tony getting the most. Kieran and Vessier gained 2. Ewan gained 3. Gav's gained 2. Casper up 5. So he's made some ground early on in this race, and it looks like he's going to make some more ground as he's closing up to Glock and David. And we've got Andreas and Mata that both gained 1 position. Biggest loser, Lego down 3. Johan and Pete down 6. As Ewan, as I was saying about him, has had a moment in turn number 11. And Andreas has got a time penalty, so I wonder if he hit the wall somewhere. Safety car!
Yeah, I'm confused where that safety car got triggered. The
hopefully it's not on increased, please.
Oh, Twisted, drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car.
Wow, wow, wow. That could change quite a bit in this race, and you'll have to serve it at the end of the safety car, otherwise he could get disqualified. Oh, and that's Cam that spun it as well. Everyone just seems to keep spinning. I thought you don't spin as much on F123. What is going on?
It's drivers pushing the limits early on, trying to take as much track as possible, getting a bit greedy on the throttle. And honestly, on this game, it is easier on traction compared to the previous games, but there is a limit on how much you can take advantage of the traction, and honestly, it has bit back for a couple of these drivers, and of course, maybe setups not perfected for race pace.
Yeah, and bearing in mind as well, if any of these drivers are on the medium tyres, they gain about, I think, about 4 or 5% of wear per lap as well, which, if you think about it, is quite massive, as it were, compared to obviously the games as well. Hard is more durable in a way. I think it's about, a few percent less when I was doing some testing earlier on as well, but I'm sure that the drivers can tell me otherwise if that's not the case. As we're on lap 6 of 29, people are probably trying to take advantage of pit stops once more. The ones who have just pitted, David, Enzo, Ewan, Lago. Well, Lago obviously had damage. Maybe it was someone that was beached and spun, which caused the safety car. Twisted is obviously come. Twisted, do you know that you can't serve your drive-through on the safety car? Or is he pitting for mediums anyway?
Potentially, but that's a lot of track position to give up under the safety car. Like, honestly, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking strategies now. I'm putting my racer helmet on by here, and I'm thinking for these guys on the mediums that are staying out. Obviously, the second safety car, it'd be relatively easy to chuck on a set of hards and try and go to the end. But for these guys still on the mediums, are they thinking about stretching this all the way to softs now? Because it's been 2 safety cars. They're not putting much wear on their tyres. Are they thinking about stretching it out?
Maybe, because they do last a bit longer in this game. They do last, I think, about 9-10 laps optimum pace. So, potentially, they could go to around about lap 19, go on a set of mediums, then go on a set of softs. Or maybe, if there's another safety car, if they have a spare set of mediums, they could go on that. The ones who did start on the mediums probably are going to be at a disadvantage, or they might try medium, soft. We do think it's a one-stop race, but with safety cars, you never know what's going to happen. Safety car is in this lap.
Yeah, so we're going to be back racing once again. The Matt, they're going to control the pace now. He is going to be the return Burt Milder, and he is going to back up the pack. And for Glock, obviously on those hard tyres, he's moved up the field quite lovely as well at the start of last week's race winner. Could be looking for back-to-back wins here.
Yep, he can. So let's go through Mata currently as he leads the field away through turn 11. Once he starts to floor it, that is when he has to go. He can't brake and then accelerate again, because otherwise it can cause a bit of confusion from the drivers and also a bit of confusion from me as well. So he's going to be green for the 3rd time tonight. Mata has controlled this restart perfectly from Glock then. But look at this. We got Womack, who's had the restarts of dreams. Is he going to go for the send of dreams through turn number 1? No, he does not. Casper plants the car in all the right places and stays in 3rd. Twisted is about to serve his drive-through right now, which I have to say is a very smart move as well. Get your drive-throughs out of the way. Womack finally gets past Casper. Nice, calm and collective move up into 3rd place. Tony, by the way, is up into 5th position. So he's doing a great job. He's going to hope that there's no more safety cars and he can stretch those mediums out to potentially go on softs later on as well. Same for Gav as well. It's annoying that we can't check tyre wear on this game to see how much tyre wear they're using per lap. But he's still doing a great job. But bearing in mind, with the likes of people that have stayed on those mediums, we've got people that have been on who pitted, the likes of Kieran, Speed Knighton as well, who's looking to gain positions. David, by the way, has got past Vesier up into 12.
Yeah, David making moves as we got, I believe that was Speed Key having a little look at Gareth there for P6. Obviously, Gareth dropping a little bit back off the top 5 now, struggling on the restart. He's under pressure from the Haas in behind now. Yeah,
the 2 Speed boys, even though they're in the same team, they do not want to give up a position and they want to fight for it. And look at this, Kieran wants to fight for it for every moment as Kieran is up into 6th place. Brilliant stuff. And Pete does the same to his other speed compatriot of Leroy. Leroy is up into down into 10th position. Speed Knighton is down up into 9th position currently. So Pete, I have to say, Pete's having a very good race so far. Womack has got a time penalty added to his name, 3 seconds. Don't forget, Andreas has got one as well, so that can be very, very huge later on in this race as they pass turn 9 heading towards turn number 10 as well. Not much overtakes being made there as well. We're keeping an eye on the gap, so there was almost a bit of a lag spike from someone there, which is not ideal, but DRS will be activated soon as Womack has left the session and Casper gets passing because of that. Hopefully Womack can join soon.
Yeah, but Tony follows him straight through, and Tony right on the back of Casper. Obviously, DRS will be activated on this next lap, so Tony in a good spot here to challenge for a podium.
Ooh, a podium position for Tony, and potentially he can go on for the race victory, potentially. This could be quite insane for Tony as Kieran gets past Womack, so he's dropping way down the field. It won't be surprising if Gav does the same. Andreas gets past Leroy, and he could get past Pete too. No! Leroy is out! Safety car again! Now, what has happened to Leroy? He must have clipped the car, so... Oh! I can see why there's a safety car. If it was real life, there would have definitely been a red flag. But red flags are turned off, luckily. So safety car is deployed for the 3rd time. Oh my god, I'm starting to get sick of these safety cars right now. And it's only on standard, for goodness sake.
Yeah, and Womack, I think if he can get back in the lobby, he needs to get back in ASAP, because AI taking control of your race strategy is not what you want.
No, because he could go on hards, isn't he? The AI is going to go on hard. So, Womack, if you're listening, get back in this lobby, because otherwise your AI is probably going to put you on hards. Now, this is our 3rd safety car. What would you do if you were the top 4? You've not pitted. Surely you can go on to a set of hards. You would get your 1 stop out the way very soon. Or would you time it so you will go on to mediums and then soft later on, thinking there could be another safety car? If I were them, I think there would be another safety car. So I would go on to another set of mediums and then stretch it out to a set of softs.
What we're going to find out is they've all come into the pits now. Glock on a set of mediums, Matter on hards. I believe Casper chucking on a set of hards as well. Tony has stayed out. They want to double stack with Glock. Honestly, I think that will end up losing him more time than he actually would have lost by double stacking you.
Yeah, and double stacking is not ideal on this game. Last game's a lot better, not gonna lie, but they're gonna lose so much time. Apologies if I got the sniffles. I've got the worst hay fever today, and it hadn't even been sunny. So, yeah, very annoying. But Tony leads then, who was not... Sorry.
That's you.
Jesus. Yeah, Tony, he's not pitted. Johan hasn't pitted. They're the only 2 that haven't pitted. Oh, Cam!
Oh. What has gone on there?
Cam's bended by himself.
Warming up the tyres. Cam looks like he may have just lost it and just collided immediately with the wall.
Yeah, that is very, very weird for Cam, who was runner-up last season, and he's not going to finish. He finished 3rd last week, and he's not going to score any points. That could be huge for our 1st championship of the season.
Absolutely, and Cam is going to be absolutely furious with himself for making that mistake. And honestly, we're going to have to wait and see like what's going on there, because obviously, from the looks of it, looks like potentially just a bit too aggressive. Whereas we went to warm up the tires, might have just lost the car and collided with the wall, or hopefully not any contact in that between any other drivers and Cam there. But obviously, this has not been the race for Cam. Obviously getting held up in qualifying on his final lap, and then all that's gone on in the race has not been a good night for the Williams driver.
To be fair, the only Williams driver that's doing well tonight is Johan in 3rd place, but he's going to hope for a safety car. I think around about lap 20, that is when I think the softs can get to the end of this race. So I think he's just going to wait until then, but you never know with this lobby. Pete, I think, is hoping for that as well. So the ones that can realistically get to the end, Matter, Glock, I think, can just about get to the end. Womack, Gareth, and Vessier, and also David and bearing in mind, I don't think they need to pit again. I'll check my notes in terms of tyres to see
I'd say
what is
you
the
and
case.
Andreas as well.
Pardon?
I'd say you and Andreas can get to the end as well.
Oh,
fifth
yes,
and,
Andreas,
seventh.
yeah. Who's in 5th spot. Those hards could last quite a long time here around Australia, so it is possible, but his tyres are going to fall off towards the end of the race, whereas for everybody else, the likes of Womack, Gareth, Vessier and Mata, they could last a little bit longer. So, yeah, hards could get to the end. The optimal pit stop for is lap 13 for set up the medium. So, yeah, mediums could get to the end from here. But it will, to be fair, it will be a bit of a push. But anyway, safety car's in. Tony is now controlling the field. He's going to hope that nothing else bad goes on, because otherwise there could be disasters that are waiting to happen. Track temperature still relatively the same, 33 degrees air temperature, 38 degrees track temperature.
Tony's gone.
Tony's gone again. So Tony is going to be flying. Whoever controls the restarts always nails it at the front. As Kieran, I think, is trying to catch up, but to no avail. Johan not having the best of restart either, but someone who's had a good restart is Andreas, around 2 tenths behind Speed 19 already. Same with Glot. Glot is catching up to Mata then. Past turn 1 they go. The number 95 driver, Vessier, gets past Garrett Ahmed to 13th. But Glot, our race winner from last week, is looking to pass a 4-time VSL champion of Mata, which he does to the inside of turn 3 and 4. Passing it towards turn number 5. You avoided that sausage curve almost, which was great to see. But Glock is making up places, which is always nice. But there's only one thing of catching a driver, but another thing of passing him, and he does not want to get involved in too many incidents tonight. But Glock's made up a few positions. That's pretty much it. Everyone else seems to be pretty much where they are, apart from Yaham, who's catching up on Kieran.
Yeah, and of course Yaham on these tyres, obviously 10 laps on Kieran's mediums, Yaham on 12 lap old hards. It is going to be interesting because normally you'd see the mediums drop off now, but under the safety cars that we've had, they should have an extra few laps of life still in the bag. And obviously keep an eye on Glock, as it looks like Nighton has lost it.
And Yarham as well. Yarham's lost it as well. When I was riding on board with him, he just lost it by himself, or maybe they may have made contact with each other, but Glock gets past Ewan quite comfortably. His straight line speed central has helped him here, but Ewan's like, I'm not going to give up without a fight, as Glock looks left and looks right. He doesn't know where to go. Ewan is going to try and send it on the right, maybe no. He wants to be conservative for now on those hard tyres, because he knows that Glock is quicker on those mediums. Safety car again has Vessier spins. I'm almost certain it's on increase because he's got debris. Okay, that probably explains it. So in 14 laps, we've had 4 safety cars, guys. Oh my god! I swear, can we get a race without safety cars? I think in one race I commentated on Monday, there was not even a VSC or a safety car. Here at VSL, we've got 4. But that is good news for the likes of Kieran, who could go on another 7 millions. Bad news for Tony. Really bad news. Because he has to go on hards, because otherwise the softs can't get to the end for me, unless he can be very brave and get those tyres 15 laps to the end. But we've seen surprises. Tony has to come in now, surely?
Yeah, Tony has to come in, and I'm surprised Kieran didn't follow suit there. Enzo does come in, and this was something I was going to say there. For Kieran and Enzo, obviously they're on a set of mediums right now. They've already made a pit stop. They could have come in and chucked on another set of mediums, and I think Enzo is going to do that right now. Yes, the yellow ball tyres are out for Enzo. Softs for Tony, so he's going to opt for... Yeah, he's going to opt for trying to get through the field as quick as possible, try and build a gap, and maybe pit again for another set of softs, unless his tyre weight is fantastic, in which case he can get to the end.
I think I would say, like I was saying earlier, lap 19, 20 would have been the optimal time to go onto a set of softs. They can last 13 laps, so it is doable, but your tyres will start to wear very quickly towards the end. So if Tony could do it, fair play. If Andreas could do it, fair play. Bearing in mind, Andreas does have some time penalties, so does Twisted. We'll look at the stops. I'm surprised Speed United hasn't come in, because there's no way that his tyres are going to get to the end. But I think everybody else, apart from the likes of Kieran and Knighton, can get to the end from here. But the sauce, we will obviously go on the edge of caution. Same with Damon, who may have to pit one more time, but you may be hoping for another safety car as well. To be honest, Mike, there hasn't been that much strategy going on, because we've had like 4 safety cars.
Yeah, one thing I was going to say, I think Andreas might have had a bit of wing damage, because I think he got jumped by both Mata and Casper in the pit stop phases, and he was quite considerable way behind both of them on track after they left the pit lane. So I think Andreas might have got a fresh front wing put on his car.
Yeah, potentially. We'll keep an eye on him. And, Andreas, I think, hasn't lost that much. But I think he still has a chance to win this race on those softs. Bearing in mind that the softs can gain an extra 3 or 4 tenths per lap compared to the mediums. And if they're on hards... Oh, as Knighton comes in. Knighton doesn't think softs could get to the end. So he's going to a set of the medium tyres. I think he started on softs for 2 laps and then he was on mediums for 13. So yeah, he can't go on a set of mediums. So he's playing it conservatively. He wants the tyres to be more durable, but fair enough. He could push at the end then. Whereas guys on the softs potentially can't. But you never know, they can surprise. So Pete doesn't have to pit again. Again, I'm still surprised Kieran hasn't followed suit really, but he doesn't want to be the one to fail currently. But he's going to be in control of this restart, which I think will be next lap, I think.
Yeah, as we wait for the safety car to give us a notification saying it's coming in, and hopefully he'll put his feet up and in the garage and not come out for a 5th time. We don't need 5 safety cars.
Honestly, if we get 5 safety cars, I'm literally just going to be going, I mean, if I was in that race car, I would definitely be absolutely annoyed about the fact that we've had so many safety cars. But it is Australia. When I always race in Australia, I tend to get loads of safety cars. I don't like them. I would rather want to race. So, because there has been a debate on Twitter saying, is safety cars needed in league racing or stuff like that. Actually, it's no longer called Twitter anymore. It's called X. I don't like it. Why would you call a social media service called X? It's ridiculous. What would you call tweets now? Anyway, that rant can go on another day. As Kieran's going to be leading that safety car restart. I think this is a 4th different leader that we've had in a safety car restart.
Yeah, and Glocker's got to be on his toes here and get ready for this restart. He cannot afford to let Kieran get away from him, as he knows Tony on a set of softs in behind is going to be hunting. And now for the penultimate corner, is Kieran going to go yet? No, he might go for the final corner. This is a very late restart here.
Yeah, because I think everyone got the restart done before that. So I think Kieran's going to be doing a restart like what I saw in another league that I'm in. And I think that's caught everyone off guard. Kieran into turn 1. Womair has had the restart of dreams. He gets past you and up into 3rd. And he's on the hard, so that could get to the end quite comfortably. Tony's up into 5th place. And he can get past you and in towards turn number 3. We've got the battle for the lead as well. Glock takes the lead. Tony gets 4th place. And he's on for the podium. If he wants to get the win, Tony, Enzo as well. Enzo through. If Tony wants to get this win still or even a podium, he's got to get past these cars as quickly as he can, because the soft drop off is huge. So he's got to get past Womair now. Otherwise, he's going to be scuffed. But great job from Enzo. But he's under pressure from the 2 McLarens. Casper and Ewan and Mata all fighting through turn number 9. Bloody hell, this is amazing. Almost past Kieran up into 2nd. But this midfield battle is insane as Casper stayed in 6th place. Tony's going to get a podium potentially down the inside. He's got Kieran in the middle of it. Tony's up to 2nd. We're on from a Mercedes 1-2. We haven't seen that in the world. The last time we saw it was Brazil 2022 in real life. Oh my God, there's just so much going on. I can't even think straight.
Absolute madness on the restart there. Tony flying up the order, Glock getting through into the lead. Kieran dropping down to P4. Ewan dropping back massively. Andreas getting through on Casper now up into P6. So the Scuderia's making moves going up the field. Matter on the back of Casper now. This is for P7. And honestly, he could potentially have a look around the outside. So it looks like Enzo's having a look at Kieran up ahead for P4.
Oh my God, just look at the amount of risks people are taking at the moment. I have to say fair play to them, as Massa just about gives Casper enough space, which he does. I think yellow flag. Oh no, that's Gav that's had a spin through turn 4. I'll be interested to see what's happened to him, if he spun by himself or if someone made contact with him. I don't know, but we'll find out at the end of this race. But surely he won't be happy with that one, as Andreas is lightning quick. We've got to keep an eye on those two soft runners right now, because those, he almost hit the back of Kieran there, but surely Andreas has the pace advantage compared to Kieran's 15-lap-old mediums. Yes, he does. Andreas gets past Kieran, and so does Matta as well. So Kieran was worried about Andreas, didn't worry about Matta behind him, and that's what compromised him. So Matta up into 6th spot, Kieran down to 7th. He's dropping like flies. Casper's right on the back of him as well. Surely, he was leading this restart, and he's dropping down to almost outside the top 10. Everyone else is on fresher tyres than him, apart from himself, Ewan and David, and those are the ones that are taking advantage. Oh no, Peter's got a time penalty. But let's watch Tony versus Glock. This is the battle we wanted to see all season long so far. We didn't see it last week because Tony couldn't make it, but we get to see it right now. This is why they teamed up together, because they're them two by far are one of the quickest around here. Womack not catching up too much, mainly because of the tyres as well. But we've got to keep an eye on Enzo. What is going on with these penalties, by the way? I think we had 1, 2, 3 drivers that picked up penalties in the space of a few laps. But here comes Tony, 1/10 behind Glock. He's going to have the DRS wide open. Straight line speed of dreams. Is he going to send it like a Daniel Ricciardo? Easy does it. Goes Tony, and he's in the lead of the Australian Grand Prix on those soft tyres. Andreas does exactly the same. Oh no, he doesn't. That was so close. He just caught off guard. He got a bit squirmy on exit of turn 11. And he's down into 8th spot on those softs. Maybe those tyres starting to overheat a little bit. Gab is up to 14th spot. And could we see the soft dying quickly? I don't know. But Tony has got to make a break for it right now. He's leading, but how long can these softs last?
Well, I mean, I was on board with the Andreas Enzo incident. It was a little bit of contact. They just got hooked onto each other. Front left tyre, the rear right tyre, and they just got hooked onto each other. So that's what happened between those two, and it's allowed Matta and Casper to get through up into P4 and P5 now. And honestly, with Tony in the lead now, this is very ideal for Glock, because he can just stick within the DRS range of his teammate, and then come later in the race, just breeze past him when his tyres become the better tyre.
Oh, Casper! Wow, what a great move from Casper near the exit of turn 9 and 10. That is incredible. Enzo's going to try and do exactly the same thing. Oh, he's going to be free wide, heading towards turn 11. One person, I think one of the Williams surely backed up there, but Matta out of nowhere is up into 4th spot, and Jade's going to get past the ghost of Womack as well. So we got Tony in 1st, Glock 2nd, Casper 3rd, Matta 4th. Surely they'll be happy with that. As Enzo and Johan get past as well. We're on lap 21 of 29. So if a safety car comes now, then the softs should make it to the end of the race. That is the question. Softs should get to the end of the race if they pit now. But please, I hope for no more safety cars, because otherwise I will cry. But that is a safety car window. Past turn number 4 right now as well. We've got to keep an eye on battery as well, because a lot of people are using too much battery currently as well. Top 12 at VSL score points. And also for point for fastest lap as well. And bearing in mind, next week, Abu Dhabi, we got the sprint race coming up, the sprint race format, which I have to say I'm looking forward to. So this is the last normal race for a while. So that's going to be intriguing. But for now, we'll see who's getting much. Only 3 DNFs so far. As we got some moves. Bessie on David, maybe? No, let's watch Mata and Casper then. Nobody doesn't get past either.
Go get that car turned around. We don't want another safety car.
Oh, is that Lego? Oh, right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's around.
Thank goodness, because I think from this lobby, if you spin and hit the wall, the safety car gets called out. So I wonder if it is on increased. As Womet, I thought he's been it, but again, he's under AI, so hopefully he could join the back very, very soon. But Tony's pulled off a really good gap. Honestly, if Tony comes from last to first, that will be a stellar performance from him, and I have to say, a great performance from him. To be honest, I don't think he minds starting last. I think starting last around Australia is probably the best thing to do because you avoid the carnage, and that is exactly what he's done. But Mata, he's 5 tenths behind Casper. I think these two are pretty much even on pace currently.
To be fair, I think Mata's just comfortable right now. He knows Casper has a 3-second time penalty. He knows Andreas has a time penalty in behind. I think right now he's just very comfortable with where he's at right now. And obviously Tony now has broken away from Glock. He's out of that 1 second window, and this is not what Glock wants to see.
No, I think Glock's going to hope Tony's tyres start to wear off very quickly, but surely those two will potentially be in a party together as well. Because constructors can make all the difference, because it's obviously not just about the drivers, it is about the constructors too. Let's look at the constructors actually and see how that affects it. Constructors, Mercedes are leading, joint with Williams, but as it stands, with Mercedes 1-2, Mercedes are going to definitely be leading the way so far and could be Constructors champions for the Middle East and Asia Pacific Trophy quite soon. But anyway, lap 23 of 29, we've got a mixture of tyres going on. Kieran, who's been on those tyres for 20 laps, has been passed left, right and centre, and surely he's going to be passed by David, but David makes a mistake going through turn 4, which is, I think, not going to help him at all. That's going to allow Bessier, who's having a good recovery drive as well, but here comes Mata, past Casper, up into third. He is on for the podium. He is a VSL champion for a reason, even though he hasn't won a championship in a while. He means business. He loves this game. He got some decent haul of points last week in Japan. He got 15 points to his name. He's looking to get 18 points tonight. And he could go get 20 points because he's right up on the back of Glot. We could see a three-way fight for the win, but Andreas on the back of this as well. But he's got a time penalty. Yeah, David's got past Kieran way comfortably at the moment. Yeah, Kieran is struggling, but he's fine for it, look. He is fine for it. Oh, no. Lago is out.
Oh, no. Safety car.
You know what, Mike? I'm going to cry.
I might join you. I might curl up in a ball in the corner now.
I hope it doesn't happen at One Hub on Sunday. I'm going to cry then, too. But... yeah, I'll be racing, though. Not in the commentary box. But, soft tyres, then, for everybody. I wonder what Tony's going to do. That's probably thrown away any possible chance of a race finish because everyone's going to be on fresh set of sauce. But in a way, that's kind of thrown the race wide open. If you just joined us, by the way, welcome to our 5th safety car at VSL F1. By the way, Tier 2 has also got a safety car at the moment as well. So both tiers have got safety cars currently. So there we go. Welcome to VSL, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. But yeah, and nice to see Finley in the chat as well. Who is a reserve? As yeah, Twisted is in, Gareth is in. That is huge for the likes of the ones near the back. Twisted, Gareth, and David to climb their way up. I think the ones who haven't got penalties, Ewan, Gareth, Mata, Glock, and Tony, they're going to benefit from this. Everybody else is going to be thinking, hang on, that's probably screwed me over here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as we see who's going to come into the pits. The Mata's in, Casper's in. The both Mercedes stay out.
Glock on 13 lap olds mediums. It looks like Tony and Glock are going to have the same tyre wear, but if they could work together, it could work. But the one who's good...
Everyone's getting the softs now, though.
Yeah, but Mata, Casper and Andreas have not lost any positions from it. They pitted. They had nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. Tony and Glock could have pitted then, right then and now, and they could have still come out in the lead. I think that was a strategy disaster class from them, but if they could last those, if they could last them in P1 and P2, they can. But I'm just keeping an eye on Kieran, because Kieran was on like older tyres than everybody else, and everyone else breezed past him. So let's hope it's not the same for Glock. But I have my eyes on Mata and Casper and Andreas here. I think those three could be the ones to watch, because they've been looking quick all race.
Yeah, and you got Enzo there as well. Of course, Enzo had that small incident with Andreas early on. They could also get in the mix as well. And the issue for Tony and Glock now is these guys right behind them on fresh, soft tyres. And not only that, I mean, I know there's penalties from Casper downwards. It's going to be one of them ones where if the likes of Casper, Andreas, Enzo can get ahead of Tony and Glock within the first lap of the restart, they have the pace in those tyres to be able to pull that 3-second gap, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well, but we will see what we can do. Safety car still in to account for Twisted. Bearing in mind, if you want to win this race, you will be getting 25 championship points, and it will be interesting to see how that affects the championship after tonight. I will have to do some mental maths here currently, just to see what happens. But we've had 4 retirements, and one of them, pretty much, 2 of them are Ferrari-powered cars, one of them's a Williams, and one of them's an Alpine. So we did see 2 Alpines retire in Hungary, but that's besides the point. But I literally don't know who's going to win. I think Mercedes are going to struggle. I'm going to put my money on Mata. He's got no penalties. He's been looking quick all race. I think Mata could win this one. And his last win, I believe, was Australia one season. I can't remember if it was last season or the season before, but that was where he got his last win. And he could get another win here. I might be wrong. He might have got a win somewhere else, but, you know.
I'm currently looking at the warnings right now for these guys at the front, so that's why I'm currently taking a peek at. I won't say to keep the suspense and that, but
I can see him, but again, we're not saying.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the suspense.
Yeah, let's just say I can say about the midfield though. There's about a few drivers close enough to get their second penalty. Let's just say that. I'm not gonna say who, but it's a lot of drivers. So be warned, we could see some 6 seconds. And I'm not going to get the amount of penalties they got. I'm going to bring the suspense up because we like suspense here at VSL. Yes, we do. Safety cars in this lap. So we've got 3 laps. So we're going to have DRS on the final lap. I'm excited. If the Mercedes can keep 1-2 by the end of this, that will be probably the most greatest drive I've ever seen. But they got no penalties either. The ones with no penalties can't afford to take too much risk, otherwise they'll drop it down the field. As long as those guys could keep within this pace, they should be fine. Kieran's overtaking Wome. I wonder if Wome's struggling. Oh, he's under ghosting.
Yeah, that could be a ghosting, giving them penalties as well. Like, that could be an issue for those guys getting through before the line. But yeah, we are back racing once again. The Mata not losing out to Glock, but he might lose out to Casper here, as Casper's going to try and go around the outside at turn 3. Able to get it done though, as Enzo and the pressure from Yaham in behind.
Yeah, a lot of people be getting time penalties for ignoring yellow flags, but that was ghosting, so surely those penalties could get removed. But Gav had a bit of a spin in turn 1, so I think his chance of getting some good points, unfortunately, are over. But look at Yarham on the back of Enzo. He's absolutely flying on those soft tires. He didn't care about him getting a time penalty. Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right through the sweeping turns of turn 9 and 10? He don't want to be going for a move there, Sunshine. He doesn't. He wants to not... Glock trying to go and defend from Mata to the inside. A little bit of contact. Glock's got a penalty for that. That's harsh. That is very harsh at the moment. Oh, this could be 4 wide. Don't make it 4 wide. As I make... Oh, no. Mata's almost at the moment. Oh, Mata's spun.
Oh, heartbreak there. It was 2x2 like Noah's Ark going for the penultimate corner, and Glock and Mata going deep into that corner. It opened the door for Andreas and Casper, and Andreas now up into P2, and no one around him to really hinder him trying to catch up to Tony here.
And Pete is out of this race, and Casper trying to get past Glock, but to no avail. This is very tight race between the pair. And by the way, Kieran's up to 4th. And on the last restart before this, he was struggling on those memes. This safety car has helped him to no end. Oh, no, he hasn't! Commentator's curse has struck again at VSL. And he's spun and he's out the race. That is a shame. But Enzo on the back of Yarham. I think these are the last few laps. They're taking too many risks, which is so frustrating. But Enzo is up into 5th place, but Yarham's going to fight back. We are about to start the final lap with DRS. Here comes Ewan to the inside. And bearing in mind, people have got 5-second penalties, which could get removed. So that could change the outcome of this race. So make sure you stay tuned, because the stewards are going to be very busy. Final lap as Andreas takes the lead on track. I don't think Tony thought that, to be honest, because he knew that unless Tony gets a penalty...
It looked like Casper was looking for a move on Glock. A little bit of contact between them there, but fortunately they've all kept the front wings and everything, as Casper now looking for a switch back on Glock for P3. And what I was going to say, Andreas... what's called pulling away quite considerably on Tony. Can he get that 3-second gap?
Well, some people might say it is impossible, but if he had one more lap, I think he could have done it. But I don't think he's going to. But here comes Casper through turn 9. He's got Enzo for company as well. Enzo surely has to back off as Casper is on the podium. Has Enzo, what a move from Enzo!
Fantastic.
Is he going to keep it? Yes, he does. That is amazing stuff. The frustrating thing about Andreas was if he had one more lap, he would have, I think, won this race. So he had to have made the move about 2 laps earlier. But Andreas is going to come across the line. He's going to win on track. Is he going to keep it? I don't think so. I don't know. It's going to be close. 119. It's... Oh, that was so close. Tony wins in Australia. Andreas in 2nd, Casper 3rd. Bessie is in 4th. He was near the back of the all race, and he pretty much avoided the carnage. He's up in 4th. Enzo 5th, Lot down to 6th. Yarham 7th, David 8th, Twisted 9th, Ewan 10th, Gav 11th. Then we've got Womet and Mata crossing the line there. I think Womet is still under AI, so I think Mata will get the final point. I wonder if he's going to do some donuts.
I don't think Matt is too happy with how the end of that race is.
Is he running out of fuel? Look like it. Yeah, I don't think he's happy with how that race has gone, to be honest. But that was an entertaining end of the race. But they just took so many risks at the end that shouldn't have done so. Mata had the chance to win this race. He could have won this race, but he got so unlucky. But it was up to Tony. But again, up to the stewards. It could all change heading to next week.
I can't lie. I think there might be some questions with some of Glock's defending towards the end of that race, and because he went deep into several corners several times and took drivers with him. There may be some questions to do with the end of that race with regards to the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, oh God. But there's one Mercedes driver that's driven absolutely amazing, and that was Tony from the back of the grid to win the race. He tends to usually do it in Australia, to be fair, and he does it. So, awesome job. And on 15 lap old softs, I've got to feel bad for Andreas, because if he had one more lap, he would have got the win. But Tony, I have to say, my drive of the day, incredible performance from last to first. My drive of the day. And Andreas in second, and we got Casper Bessia, his best performance from 18th to 4th. One of my honourable mentions as well. And we got Enzo, Glock, Yarham, David, Twisted, Ewan, Gav, and Wome, your top 12. But I think Matt is going to get the final points because of Wome disconnected. But your timers are Kieran, Knighton, Lagoo, Cam, Leroy, and Tech. Hopefully the driving standards will be a lot cleaner next week. I always say that every week, but that hardly ever happens sometimes. But we had a lot of races last season where it was pretty good, but Australia unfortunately tends to bring mainly about attrition more than the actual racing. But the one that shone tonight was Tony, and he can come out of this race with his head held high.
Yeah, and honestly, I have to echo your Driver of the Day nomination with Tony, because not only did he come from last to finish on the top step of the podium, he did it without any penalties. And when the rest of the field are picking up 3 seconds, and it shows the consistency of Tony to keep it penalty free.
Yeah, let us know who your driver of the day is in the chat. Next round, what is it? I should check. Abu Dhabi, which is the sprint race. If we've had chaos today, I imagine what it's going to be like in the sprint race. Oh my God. Let's hope we don't have that much in the sprint race anyway. But thank you so much for watching VSL Tier 1. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell if you are new. Also, follow us on Twitter at VSL_F1. Also on Instagram, same thing. Join our Discord as well to keep us up to date with all VSL news. Also, follow us on Twitter as well. I'm at JessGave95, and I'm guessing your Twitter is the same as your Discord at Iberbrim Mike. Is that it?
Yep, that is correct.
Awesome. So make sure you give him a follow as well. Fantastic commentator, doing a fantastic job. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week, same time, for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which will be the sprint race. See you soon. Bye-bye.